So what we're going to do here is visualize again ourselves in the future in front of us. And again, if you want to have it 10 minutes in the future, that's good, because then at the end of the 10 minutes, you have become that future you that you want to be, a you that you have forgiven. I first did this practice with inmates, and some of them would say, well, because they have uniforms that they wear. And I've had them say that, well, I visualized myself in street clothes. That's the me I wanted to become. So you're going to visualize yourself in front of you, facing you, and then when you inhale, with that, and boy, I think I do have, I'm going to take that allergy medicine tonight when I get home. I think that I have an allergy to something in Florida here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You breathe in anything that you have done to harm yourself, even if it's just been to bruise your ego. Anything that you're embarrassed about, feel that you're holding on to and angry about yourself, beating yourself up about. It can be real or imagined even, whatever. And so regrets, harsh judgment, resentment, depression. We can hold on to past behavior for decades. We can be thinking about things that we have done decades ago. Or thinking about things that we wish we would have done and didn't do. All of this, things that lead to resentment, pain, anger, and so forth. Breathe all of that in from this future you. Again, it's in the form of black smoke. And it comes out of that future you, and then you breathe it in. And it goes into your lungs and then dissolves. It dissolves into emptiness. I didn't say that this morning, but it dissolves because it has no inherent existence. You're not like a vacuum cleaner bag and just sucking it up and holding it. And at some point, it's going to kill you or whatever. It just dissolves into emptiness. But if you are hung up on that, and people can get hung up on that, that's where the future you comes in, because at the end of this exercise, you become the future you, and the you that's been breathing it all in is gone in the past. It's not rocket science here. So, when you are exhaling then, what you are giving to the future you in front then is the antidote for all of that. Very similar to what I talked about this morning. You're giving that future you peace, contentment, relief. It's love is what you're giving that future you. You're saying the debt is forgiven. It doesn't have to be repaid. You no longer have to feel guilty. It's a kind of a get out of jail free card. You no longer have to be imprisoned by your past. And so just do that back and forth, taking on the suffering and the guilt and so forth, the resentment, the anger, and then giving contentment, peace, serenity, love, and whatever else you think would be an antidote for whatever it is you're holding against yourself. So it's always good with Tong Len to do a little shamatha meditation first to calm your mind down, and do a little shamatha meditation afterwards to, again, calm your mind down. And I want to finish my tea before it gets cold, so I'm going to do that here too. But you could look at this a bit like a sandwich, where the shamatha is the piece of bread on the bottom of the sandwich, and the piece of bread on the top of the sandwich, and in the middle, since I'm from Wisconsin, is going to have cheese in it. But maybe you have a veggie burger in the middle of yours. But that's the Tong Len part, is that middle part. So let's start by doing a little shamatha, and then I'll begin the Tong Len with a little guided meditation. will begin Tong Len. So now visualize a you in front of you in the future, about 10 minutes. And that you is sitting and facing you. And when you breathe in, then you are, you might say, sucking out in the form of black smoke. Coming from that future you, whatever it is that you are holding against yourself, resentment, guilt, anger, judgment, and so forth, and even specific negative actions. You're sucking it all out in the form of black smoke, and it goes into your mouth and into your lungs and then dissolves into emptiness. And when you exhale, then in the form of white light goes the antidote for that, which is a contentment, peace, a feeling of being forgiven, a feeling of being cared, a feeling of relief, and so forth. Whatever it is that will remove any negative traces of these actions and negative feelings. So let's begin then. resume shamatha.